Good morning, I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta. Welcome to a very special edition of SGMD. You know, when you think of the program House, you probably think of medical mysteries. Of course, they are all actors, and the stories aren't real. But the truth is, there are medical mysteries all around us. And today, we're going to take you to a place where patients go when no one has been able to tell them what is wrong. They are real medical mysteries, and they are with real people. Let's get started. What if you got sick with a life-threatening condition, but your doctor doesn't know why or what to do? I'm going to take you inside a hospital, a sort of place of last resort where a team of the most brilliant minds in medicine solve the nation's most mysterious illnesses. It's right outside the Capitol at the National Institutes of Health. You're going to meet some amazing patients who have been through the ringer. Bethesda, Maryland. Deep inside the sprawling NIH complex, Dr. William Gall leads an elite team of doctors, specialists, and researchers. They are the best in the world. Together, they focus their vast expertise to try to save patients' lives. They are detectives in search of clues to solve mysteries no other doctors could solve. You're talking about patients who have been seen by some of the best in the country here. They're very good clinicians and diagnostic doctors everywhere. So you're taking the hardest of the most challenging cases of all.
We expect a failure. We expect a high failure rate. We expect a success rate of perhaps 10–15% or so.
The Undiagnosed Diseases Program was launched only 2 years ago at NIH. It accepts only the rarest of medical cases. And it's not only about saving lives. Here they are also hoping to discover new diseases and create new science.
It's really sort of the inspiration that we all have as clinical researchers.
In 2 years, the UDP has had more than 3,000 inquiries.
Let's see what we've got.
More than 1,000 applications actually made it to Dr. Gall's desk.
This is an acceptance letter.
But UDP has accepted only a little over 300 patients. You have to tell a lot of people no.
We do, yes.
Seems like that'd be hard.
Well, it is hard. It's very hard. And I have to take some solace in the fact that even though we're turning down a lot of people, we're still helping a chosen few.
The few, with mysterious conditions no one can diagnose. Kylie Dawn McPeak was born in May of 2004. The picture of a perfect baby girl. She developed like a precocious, healthy toddler.
She was above average on everything. I mean, she could say her ABCs when she was like 18 months old.
Then at 3.5, Kylie was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Shortly after that, her mom and dad, Gina and Stephen, noticed something wasn't right. It began with a voice tremor.
I have to eat. I have to do a shot.
Then Kylie had a seizure, and by the time she turned 4, her face started to twitch.
Is your face feel funny? No.
The first day you sort of realized that there was something that was not right with her, because she was this precocious child, just zooming past all the milestones, everything. Because you're a parent now, and you're trying to figure out, is this just me being overly sensitive? Or...
I was told that I was looking for things that weren't there. It's just really hard. I don't know.
We actually spent a lot of time videotaping her when we saw the little things that started happening because no one believed us.
Do you know when your birthday is?
Yes.
Good girl.
The twitching soon spread down the entire right side of her body. Her head began to tilt right. Eating became a struggle. By then, all the doctors agreed something was wrong, but what was it? The little girl was deteriorating.
At this point, I didn't know if I should plan for her to go to kindergarten or if we should plan a funeral.
Sally Massagie's mystery did not begin until later in life. She was in her late 40s when her muscles began growing out of control. Do you remember looking at her chart for the first time?
Yeah, I do. This was referred by an endocrinologist at Duke. And the endocrinologist said, in my 38 years, I have never seen a case like this. It said something like that. Oh, okay, that's sort of impressive. You know, what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, when you see a picture then, That's pretty impressive.
Like all the patients selected for the Undiagnosed Diseases program, Sally and her husband, and Kylie and her mom and dad would come to NIH for a week of complex and exhaustive tests,
She's had a spinal tap before?
Yes.
where a medical strike force was setting out to solve a mystery and to save their lives. So what is next for these two patients we've been covering? The most invasive, cumbersome, and extensive testing they've ever had to experience, probably. But what I've learned is that people expect an answer at the end of a hospitalization. Will they find one? Some tough questions ahead for Kylie's parents as well as they continue their desperate search for a diagnosis. And we are back with SGMD. Today we're shining a light on doctor detectives and this amazing place called the Undiagnosed Diseases Program at the NIH. Patients really come from all over the place. It's a place of last resort, last hope. These patients, Kylie and Sally, they traveled here for a week of testing. And what the doctors are looking for are little clues, things that may not be that obvious, but could add up to answering and solving this fascinating puzzle. We pick it up with Kylie's story. Kylie McPeak was sick and getting sicker. Her parents had spent nearly 2 years with specialists.
Perfect.
No one could diagnose what was happening to Kylie. Her voice tremor,
My foot twist.
the twitches that were convulsing the entire right side of her body.
I feel like a bad parent. You feel like, why can't I help my kid? So
Just can't really put it into words. Just helpless.
Kylie and her parents made their way from Reno, Nevada to Bethesda, Maryland and the NIH in hopes of finding out what in the world could be wrong with Kylie.
Do you want to know what's going on with Kylie if the next sentence was, but there's nothing we can do about it?
Yeah.
Why?
Just, it's nice. I think it would be nice to have a prognosis, to know. I mean, even if it's not treatable, if it is terminal, then how much time we have left, as opposed to not knowing. You know, it could all end tomorrow.
Can you swing, Kylie? Yeah, okay. So that's
Kylie will undergo a week-long series of complex tests and evaluations by top medical specialists at NIH. It's physically draining for everyone. And for Kylie's mom and dad, emotionally wrenching.
Bad feelings, but
The week is intense.
I don't think anybody's seen anything quite